We open with the Om sound. If you choose to join me, inhaling deeply through the nose. Big exhale. Then breathing in again. A moment to connect the head to the hands and the heart, the three together. And then we release the palms, lifting the head and opening the eyes. Welcome again. Thank you for being here. Let's move on to our mats. And we are going to start today by coming into a couple of versions of child's pose. So as we come onto the mat, instead of having our knees wide like we regularly do, let's bring the legs together, sit back for a moment when you get there. And then as you get to this shape, the first thing that we're going to do, instead of sending our arms in front like we regularly tend to do in the child's pose, we're going to bring the hands onto the feet and you're going to try and hold your feet. We're going to put the forehead on the mat, but if the forehead doesn't get there, you can add a pillow, a blanket, a couple of blocks, or something that softly supports your forehead. And we're going to take 3 breaths here, letting the forehead drop, holding the feet. And in these 3 cycles breathing, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to start connecting with Ujjayi breath, the breath that we do through the nostrils, and to start sensing where the air and the energy are going as you breathe in this shape, right? Maybe you'll feel the abdomen pressing more into your thighs. Maybe you feel the sides of your body expanding a little more. So give yourself an opportunity to start noticing where the breath is going, and perhaps also an opportunity to expand that air into any areas that may feel tight or constricted or that are giving you some trouble today, okay? After 1 more like that, we are going to change the position of the arms by sending both arms out to the sides like a T letter, extending both arms and walking the fingertips or the fingernails away from your shoulders. And then take another 3 breaths here. This time trying to fill up the back of your chest. So the thoracic area also gets a little bit of love. And every time we exhale, we have this opportunity to empty the cup, to release and make space for the new. So new energy to come into our bodies, extending through the arms, starting to activate there a little more. After you finish that next cycle, we'll change the arms, same position for the body, we'll change the arms towards the front of the mat, and now we'll extend the arms as much as we can so we feel more of the activation into the underarms and the armpits all the way to the chest, and evenly lengthening the sides of your trunk. Take a few breaths here. We start digging a little bit more into the relationship between the breath and the body and the movement we are creating. Good, and then slowly we walk the hands back and we sit back just for a moment here. We are going to inhale, send the arms up overhead. Look at your hands, lace your fingers, and notice which thumb is the one that crosses in front first, just to remember. And then turn the palms and press the palms up towards the ceiling. We return with the head so we can have the ears in line with the arms, the crown of the head pointing up to the ceiling. And then press through the palms and the base of your palms so the wrists stretch a little bit more, your knuckles also. And notice if your front ribs are popping out and the lower back, like I'm showing, tends to arch. So see if you can bring those front ribs down, lift the pubic bone up towards the ribs, and lengthen the sacrum towards earth. It might be a little bit of a challenge to be sitting on the heels, so you can always add a block in between the heels if you need. If you're okay, stay here for another breath. And then exhale, release the arms. Beautiful. We are going to send the arms in front again. We are going to lace the fingers again, and this time you're going to make sure that the opposite thumb is the one that goes on top. It's going to feel unusual. And then again, we are going to turn the palms, send the arms up to the ceiling, press again through the sides of the body, we lift up. Imagine your arms starting in your hips, and from there you lengthen the sides, you push up towards the skies, feel the knuckles in your fingers, opening up a little bit more. Deep inhale, exhale, ribs in and down. One more breath, lengthening through the crown of the head, back of the skull lifts up. And then we exhale and release. Beautiful. Let's come into hands and knees and shake a little bit through the shins and the feet if you need here. A little bit of movement to awaken the area that may have been a little bit sleepy. There, good. And now from here, we are going to keep the hips over the knees or the pelvis over the knees, and I'm going to extend the arms towards the top of the mat. So we're going to come into what we call the puppy pose. This one helps us open up the chest. But before I come down, I'm going to put my right hand right at the center of my mat and the left palm on top. I'm going to push both into the floor and make my chest come a little bit more descended towards the mat. Maybe your chin or your forehead, they touch down, maybe they don't, it's not a problem. Just push the floor away and make your sacrum go up towards the ceiling. Let the ribs come towards the floor. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, and now a little bit of a change in this shape. See if you can squeeze your glutes down towards your knees. So send the sacrum and the sitting bones down towards your knees. It will change a little bit into that opening. Good, and then slowly lift up and switch the hands. Now I'm going to put my left palm under, the right palm on top. I'm going to push the mat again away, or the floor, and I'm going to let my chest come down, sitting bones up and away from each other. When I change that to the second version, it will feel different. Instead of the sitting bones going away, they will come more towards each other. But for now, let the chest come down, release the head, emptying everything to make space for the new. Good, and now we change a little bit that version again. So now I'm going to send the sitting bones down towards the knees. I'm squeezing through the glutes a little bit more. So there's a little bit less opening in the chest there. For another breath. Good, and then lifting through the spine. I'm going to bring my hands back to the tabletop position. Let's take cat-cow here. Notice the shoulders, let them be right over the wrist. Let's inhale, opening up the front spine. And then with the exhale, navel up, chin to the chest, we round. And again, inhale, exhale. 3 more, going with your breath, inviting that movement to give you more freedom in the joints, noticing sensations in the hips, the lower back, upper back. Good, then we come back to the neutral. From here, I'm going to change this. I'm going to extend my legs and come down towards the mat, on my belly. And we are going to open up a little bit more on the thoracic. So I'm going to put my right arm like the cactus shape, and I'm going to keep it like that, as the cactus shape. My left hand under my left shoulder. The only thing that I'm going to do here is to push into my left hand so I can roll over that right shoulder. And you can choose the left leg to stay over the right leg or crossing the left foot behind. This will feel intense, right, in the front part of your shoulder. So you go as far or close as it feels appropriate, okay? We breathe here a couple of times. Stay there for 2 more breaths. Feel that opening. Then after the second breath, we come back towards neutral, and I'm going to now do it with my left side. So left arm is in the cactus shape, the shoulder and the elbow are more or less in the same line. I'm going to push my right hand onto the floor so I can create this twist and go over the left shoulder. Right leg on top of the left one, or just putting the foot behind, the one that feels good with you. Taking a few breaths, releasing the head if you can. Good, slowly returning. We're going to repeat this one more time. 2 breaths each side. Right arm, cactus shape, left hand pushing, roll over, and we take 2 breaths. Good, then slowly returning. Second side, left forearm and upper arm in the cactus shape, right hand under the shoulder, push and switch sides. Slowly returning. Good, from there we are going to bring the forearms in front of you. The elbows are pressing down. My elbows are a little wider than my shoulders. And I'm going to tap my toes. And from there, I'm going to lengthen the sacrum, draw the navel in, push the floor away or your mat away with your forearms and elbows, and lift the sternum up, the center of the chest. Inhale here. Tuck your toes as much as you can. So we are activating the legs here. Glutes are active as well. Sacrum moving into the body. Good, and then slowly release. Bring the hands under the shoulders, back your toes, and we come back into the tabletop. Beautiful. From here, we are going to bring the fingertips just a smidge out towards the sides of your mat, pressing through the base of your thumbs. Walk your knees a few inches behind your hips. Bring the toes towards the sides of your mat so they are as wide as your mat. And from there, we are going to push up towards downward facing dog. Pushing the mat away, activating the arms, releasing the legs, releasing the head and the neck. And then from there, what I want us to do is to keep the knees bent, push with your hands so you feel a little bit of an arch in the lower back. Stay there for a moment, let the neck relax and become long, the head become heavy. Breathing in and out. Good, then we are going to start drawing the pubic bone up, the ribs down, and slowly trying to bring the heels towards the end of your mat. It may not be that your heels are touching down. That's not the goal. Don't worry about that. Just try to lengthen the center of your heels towards the floor and the base of your toes grounded from the base of the big toes all the way to the pinky. Good. Take another breath in and out. Good, and then we are going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Bring the feet a little closer to each other, more like hip distance apart. Bend the ankles, the knees, and your hips. So we are creating a low, right, kind of like a squat. Relax the torso and the neck here. Hands should be supported by something. If not, you can bend your knees more. Relax the neck. You can say yes or no here. Good. I want us to press through the inner heels and the base of your big toes. Lift your inner arches. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lengthen the spine halfway. Draw the navel in and up. Roll the shoulders back. And then push to come all the way to standing. Beautiful. From here, we are going to inhale, arms up overhead. And you're going to lace your fingers. Maybe you cannot see it, but I want us to lace the fingers and keep the index fingers touching and the thumbs touching. Okay, so those are the only two that stay together, touching. The other ones are laced. I'm going to extend the arms up, press into the center of the heels, the base of the big toes and pinky. Again, I repeat that over and over again, but that's the base of your standing. And if you activate your inner arches and you lift them up all the way to your pelvis, you're going to have a safe way of standing and you will feel more stable. From there, we are going to extend the sides until to the right. Try to send the chest up to the ceiling. Push evenly down through the feet. Inhale. Exhale. We inhale, we come back to center. Exhale, switch sides. Chest up to the ceiling, pressing evenly into the floor. Then we inhale, we come back. Let's repeat one more time. Lengthen the sides, sacrum long, ribs down. We go to the right. Back to center. Second side. Chest up, glutes active, lift the front spine. Back to center. Good, we exhale and we fold. And from here we are going to walk our hands back to a regular downward facing dog. So this time the feet are closer than before. And see if you can find a stable posture here as you push through the hands. The base of your thumbs should feel supported and grounded, spreading down and out. Good. Now we contract the front of the knees and the quads into the backs of your legs. Lift those, the pelvic floor, up and the ribs down. Relax the head. Good, and from here we'll slowly come towards a plank pose, drawing the navel in and lengthening through the sternum. Good, trying to keep the hips in line with the shoulders. Then we go back, downward facing dog. Again, we inhale slowly, roll, bring the navel in, push the mat away. When you come to the plank, firm the shoulder blades into the back of the chest. Back to downward facing dog. One more, inhaling. And exhale. Good, let's bring the knees down. We are back to the tabletop. And I'm going to start on this right side so you can see me. From here, we're going to try and create more mobilization in the hip joint. And we're going to try and create also stability in the pelvis. So we're going to try and keep the pelvis neutral. And by neutral, I mean the hip bones are pointing down. You're firming the hip bones into one another. And you're lifting through the pubic bone towards your sternum, okay? We are going to bring the right knee towards the right elbow and then move it towards the left, then back towards the right, then again to the left, back to the right, to the left, one more, and release. So the idea here is to try and not swing our hips from side to side, but use a lot of the core. And like I said, firming the hips in so there's less movement in the pelvis and more into the leg. Let's try the second side, left knee. Firming the hips in, pubic bone up, lengthening through the sternum. I'm going to lift that left knee and I'm sending it to the left elbow, then to the right, left, right, left, one more, right, left, and release. Good, shake it a little bit from side to side. Good, now we are going to roll over the left side. So I'm going to keep the same position that I have for my left hand and my left knee, but I'm going to turn the shin a little bit to the side. I'm doing this side first so you can see me. And from here, I'm going to extend my right leg out to the side. I'm saying what I'm doing, so I'm not mirroring you, but follow this way. So with my right leg out, I'm going to squeeze my glutes into one another. I'm going to lengthen the front of the spine, turn the chest up towards the ceiling. We stay here first. And what I want us to do is, again, firm the hips, firm the core. So we are lifting through the pubic bone, and we are moving the right leg forward and back. Just a little, forward and back. Forward and back. 2 more. Front, back, firm the hips, front, back. We come back towards the neutral, push through the right heel, spin the stomach and the chest up to the ceiling, send the right arm up. One more breath, glutes towards each other. Good, bring the knee in and come back to the tabletop. Ah, good, a little bit of burning. Now we go to the other side. I'm going to switch so you can see me. Now the right side, so I'm going to turn my right shin out to the side, right hand is down, I'm going to lift the left leg up parallel to the floor. Good, once I have that, I'm going to firm my hips into one another, glutes towards each other, and I'm going to turn, spin the stomach and the chest up to the ceiling. Good, keep that leg super active, the muscles are hugging the bones, and my glutes are squeezing towards one another. I'm going to send the left leg forward and back. Front and back. 3 more. Front, back, front, back. 2 more. Beautiful. You may be feeling it already in the glutes. From there, squeeze the glutes again. Belly up, chest up, left arm up. Push through that left heel. You can always gaze down if the neck feels uncomfortable or sensitive today. Good, and then slowly return. Tabletop, shake a little bit from side to side. Beautiful. Let's go back to downward facing dog. And now we are going to play a little game. We are going to walk back towards the feet. From there, place your hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. And we are going to walk all the way towards the top of the mat. Lifting the knees like I'm doing. So we activate again glutes and hips. From here, inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, I'm going to take the Utkatasana shape, the chair pose. And I want you to, in this chair, bring the arms to the sides, cactus shape. And I want you to send the sides of your shoulder blades towards the back of your heart. So bring them back, lift the chest, go a little further, draw the navel up, press into the base of your toes, center of the heels. Good. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, put your hands down and walk to plank. From plank, touch down with your knees. Come back up, back to downward facing dog. Walk yourself all the way back. Hands to the hips. Press through the center of the heels. Inhale, come all the way up. Good, and we go back. Walking to the top of the mat so we can repeat. Fun, let's go again. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, Utkatasana, the chair with the arms in the cactus shapes. Draw the shoulder blades behind the chest. Draw the belly up. Sit a little lower. Lift through the front of your spine. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhaling, come up. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, back to plank. This time we bend the elbows just a little. Push back. Downward facing dog. Walk yourself back. Press through the center of the heels. Hands to the hips. Draw the navel up. Back to standing. Here we go again. Walk back to the top. One more time. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, open arms, Utkatasana chair. Draw the belly up. Lengthen through the sacrum down. Tone the inner legs down. Lift through the front. Inhaling up. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, plank. Good, in this one we go all the way down, bending the elbows, coming towards the floor, hands right off your mat, roll the shoulders back, lift into cobra, exhale, hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, up we go, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and exhale. Let that cup empty, release, pour everything that you need to get rid of out. One more breath. Good, let's press into the left foot, inhaling right leg up and back. Right knee will come to the chest into the plank pose. Lift that knee a little higher, lengthen through the sternum. Back up, right leg up, right foot forward, left knee comes down. You can untuck the back toes if you want, and we come up into a lunge, okay? Beautiful. From here, inhaling, arms up overhead, hook your thumbs, whichever way you want to hook them, just remember which one was in front or on top. And then from here, first draw the abdomen up, the sacrum down, firm the hips, extend through the sides. Then we let the hips move forward, lengthen and open up through the chest. Lift from the lumbars up, opening through the thoracic spine. Good, we return to center, hands to the heart. Right elbow inside the right thigh. I want you to try and press the left palm over the right one so it goes further down. And see if you can keep the left and the right elbows in one line. Keep the hips firm towards one another, and then send the belly and the chest up. Roll the left shoulder back. Good, then we return to center. Inhale, arms up. With the exhale, I'm going to take my right hand to the right hip, left arm outside the right leg, press the leg and the arm into one another, belly and chest up. Bring the hands towards each other. Again, we push the right palm now over the left one to lift the belly and the chest a little bit more. Tuck your back toes, and we add the left leg lifting. Squeeze the inner legs into one another, send the right hip back, chest back. One more breath. Push through your back heel. Release the left knee. Come back to center. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling to downward facing dog. We inhale to plank pose. Exhale, lower. One cobra here. Lift up, press through the tops of your feet. Exhale. Tucking the toes, up we go, downward facing dog. Good, second side. Lift your left leg up and back. Firm the hips in, draw the navel up. Left knee to the chest. Push the mat, lift the knee into the chest a little more. Lengthen through the sternum. Re-extend, left leg up and back. Left foot forward, right knee down. Untuck the back toes, we come up. Second side, hook the thumbs, bring the arms up. First, we draw the navel up and the ribs down, lengthening through the sides, opening the chest. And then I'm going to let the hips shift forward, lengthening and creating a little bit of a back bend here. Good, back to neutral. Draw that abdomen up. Bring the hands to the chest. Now we twist the opposite side. My left elbow will go inside the left leg. Right palm pushes the left one down. Elbows, forearms in one line. Belly up, chest up. But I'm trying to keep bringing my right hip forward and the left one back. It's a little bit of a tug of war, because that will force the thoracic spine to open up a little more, okay? So right hip forward, left one back, push the left elbow into the left thigh, and try to bring the belly and the chest up to the ceiling. Then we return to center, left hand to the left hip, inhale, right arm up. Exhale, we cross right to left, lift the abdomen and the chest to the left, left hand on top of the right hand, press one another into each other. Good, now I want you to send the left hip back, right hip forward, draw the abdomen up, chest back. One more breath. Back to center, inhale, exhale to downward facing. From here, we inhale to plank. Use your knees if you need to come all the way down. We are going to modify this one, sending the arms back with the palms pointing and facing down. Extend through the legs. Roll the shoulders, lengthen through the shoulder blades down. Lift the chest. And if you can, you lift the legs. Lengthen the sacrum, draw the navel up. One more breath. Then release. Bend your knees. Widen the legs to the sides, and now we take a regular child's pose. I'll give you a full minute here to rest and release. Taking a few breaths to reset. Coming back to the breath. An opportunity to notice, to pause, to also let go of attachments that pulls us in different directions. Meaning that sometimes we are at the mercy of something we need, we want, or we like, and we try to repeat it or have it over and over again, right? So we want to, through this practice, become aware of those attachments and let them go with gratitude, with compassion. So we suffer less. We are getting close to the end of this rest. One more full inhalation through the nose. Full exhale. Good, and then slowly from there, lifting through the head, reset your hands. We'll move back into downward facing dog. Good, find your shape again, ribs moving down, lift through the pubic bone, push the mat away. Good, we are going to inhale, send the left leg up and back. Good, bend that left knee, bring it towards the chest, push the mat away, lift into the nose, re-extend, left leg up and back, and then bring that left foot forward. Keep the back heel pushing towards the back of your mat, and squeeze the inner thigh so we can lift into the crescent lunge with a lot of stability in your legs coming up from your feet. Base of your toes, lifting inner arches. Catch your right forearm with your left hand, pull, and tilt to your left. Slowly we come back, and from there we are going to open into Warrior Two. Left leg is in front. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Press into the base of your toes. Lift the inner arches. Let's reverse this warrior. Inhaling. Exhale. One more time. Then we return to the Warrior Two. Good. Press through the feet Activate your hips into one another. Draw the navel up. Lace the fingers behind the lower back. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. Extend the arms behind you. Draw the belly up. Good. We are going to go from here into bending that front knee a little bit more. Send the left hip back and see if you can fold your trunk inside the left leg. My arms are going up and away from the neck. The head is releasing back, down, sorry. And I'm pressing into the outer edge of my back foot so the inner line of that leg is super active. One more breath. Push through your feet to lift up. Straighten the front leg. Release the arms. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Walk your back foot 1 inch in. So it's closer to your left foot. Let's re-extend the arms here. Good. Draw the navel up. Relax the shoulders down. Underarms are active, extending. We are going to let the hips come to the right so we can lengthen, lengthen, lengthen into the triangle pose. A block may be beneficial here if you want it under your left hand, or you can just touch the shin or the floor if you get there. The idea is not how far down you can get, but really how we can lengthen both sides in the torso. So you want to activate your legs a lot, squeeze the glutes, draw the navel and the chest up to the ceiling, so towards your right arm, and then see if you can add that right arm over the head coming to the left. Good. Push through the feet, lift the chest up. Good, then we slowly come up from that triangle. Therefore, release the arms and turn the left foot in. Bring the feet a little closer to one another. So now the feet are parallel to each other and the toes are a little bit pigeon toe. We are going to fold, but you may want to have a block or some support in front of you if it's more beneficial, okay? What we are going to try and do here is a very wide downward facing dog. So my legs are wide, I'm lifting through the inner arches. I'm going to inhale and send the arms up overhead. Good, now I'm going to lift the front spine as much as I can. And I'm going to use my hips to fold as my legs are holding my shape. So I'm pressing into the base of the toes, lifting the inner arches, lengthening like if I'm coming into the tabletop. And then when I can't go any further, I'm going to bring my hands down. And from there, I'm going to extend my arms in front, like if I'm doing down dog, and I'm going to push my sitting bones up and back as I release the head. Good. Keep lifting through the inner arches. Relax the head and the neck. One more breath or two in here. Good. And then I'm going to slowly walk my hands back before I come up. And I'm going to keep my left hand under the line of my neck or my nose. And if you need a block there or a couple of books or a cat, you can put your hand there. So it helps you to twist. Now we're going to try and keep the hips firm and the pelvis neutral as we send that right arm up. So it's mostly belly and chest moving up towards the ceiling. Push the floor away with that left hand. Tone that left arm and send the left shoulder back. You can gaze up if you want or down towards the left fingers. One more breath. Then we slowly release. We're doing only one side because then we'll switch. We come back towards the left foot and we go back to downward facing dog. Good. Inhaling, plank pose. Exhale, lower. Inhaling to the cobra. Exhaling, release. Back we go, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And we'll switch sides. Inhaling, right leg goes up and back. Right knee to the chest. Push the mat away and lift that knee to your nose. Re-extend, right leg up, right foot forward. Tone the inner legs. Make sure that the base is stable. Firm the hips in, lengthen the front of your spine. And now we come up into the crescent. Good. Inseam of that left leg is extremely toned and lifting up. Good. Catch with your right hand the left forearm or wrist. Pull, tilt to your right. Big toe, right foot, make it really stable, down. Firm the hips in. Then we come back and we open up into Warrior Two, second side. Beautiful. Settle in that shape. Press through the outer edge of the back foot. Press into the big toe mount on your right foot. And now we reverse it. Good. Then we slowly come back. Good. From here, we're going to lace the fingers again behind the lower back. Roll the shoulders, extend the arms behind you. Good. See if you can drop that right hip down a little. Squeeze the glutes into one another. Keep those shoulders moving down away from your lobes. And now we are going to try and fold inside the right thigh. If you need, you can bring the back foot a little closer, like I did. And then from there, draw the belly up. Send the torso down. Let the arms move away from the head. And I'm going to try and keep my right hip back as I drop the trunk inside that right leg. Press into the 3 points that mark your best bet to stay stable. Center of the heel, base of your big toes, and base of your pinky toes. Good, then from there slowly return. I know it's burning. Extend through the arms and straighten the front leg. Bring the back foot in. Good, take a deep breath. We'll go into the triangle pose. From there, we lengthen towards the right as much as we can. And we bring that right hand into a block or the shin. And we try to create length in the sides. So in order to create length in the underside, we want to send the upper ribs down towards your left hip. And then that will give you more space in the underside of the trunk. Then send the shoulders back. You can gaze up or down. Triangle pose. And then we'll add to this a little extra opening for the side by sending that left arm over the head. Squeeze the glutes, lengthen the sides. Good. Then we slowly come back up. Good. Release the arms. Bring the right foot in. Again, we are making our legs parallel to each other, feet parallel to each other. Press into the outer edges of your feet. Make sure that you have a stable support. Good. This time we are going to come with the hands onto the hips first. Okay. So from here, roll the shoulders back. Give yourself a moment here to lengthen the sacrum. Lift the abdomen and send the sternum up and back. So a little bit of a back bend. With your hands, you can even lengthen the glutes down and the sacrum down. Lift from the heart. Good. Bend the knees if you need. And then from here, we create the fold again. This time we are going to bring the hands down and we are going to try and see if we can go out to the outer feet or ankles or the shins. Lengthening the spine again. Pressing through the 3 points in your feet and then releasing the head. Move the shoulders away from the neck. Take 3 breaths. Check that the weight of your body is not all the way to your heels. Move it a little bit towards the toes. Then put your hands down. Lifting up a little. This time I'm going to put the right hand under the neck or the nose line. And from there, you can put a block, right, or books underneath. If it's hard to get all the way to the floor, draw the navel in and forward. The spine is lengthening. And from there, we go into the twist. I'm trying to keep my pelvis neutral, squeezing the glutes, and mainly moving my stomach and chest towards the left. A few breaths. Good, then we slowly release. We walk back towards the right foot, back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back, bend the knees, folding over the legs. Hands to the hips, press into your feet and come all the way up. Good, take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Good, from here, I'm going to actually go sideways so you can see both sides. We'll go from here. I'm going to start on my right foot, pressing it down, hands to the heart center. You can also put them on your hips. And from here, firming the hips again, using the actions that we've been using in the previous postures. We press into the base of the right foot, lifting the inner arch. We are going to lift that left knee up. Stay there, draw the spine up, and then slowly we are going to try and send that knee back towards the warrior three. Lengthen there. Then slowly bring the hands down. Maybe you touch blocks or your mat. And firm the hips again so the right hip moves back. Draw the navel up, release the trunk, and send that left leg a little higher up. It doesn't have to be super high, but keep the hips facing down. Lift the inner left leg. Then bend that left knee. Bring the left foot next to the right. Fold the torso. Press into both feet, hands to the hips, lengthen and come back up. Beautiful, last side. I forgot to say before, if you need the blocks in front or any prop, bring them there, and then you can put your hands in there when we come down, okay? Second side, we press into the left foot, bend the right knee, bring that knee up, hands to the center or the hips. Good, and then slowly draw the abdomen in, keep the spine long. Start sending that right leg back. Warrior three for a moment. Feel the base in that left foot. You can keep the left knee bent like I'm doing. And then slowly hands down to the support or the floor. Relax the torso down. Make the right hip face down, left hip moves back, draw the navel up, release again through the head, and send the inseam of your right leg up. Good, then slowly bring the right foot down next to the left, widen the feet with the toes pointing out to the sides of the mat, and we'll come into a squat. Nice. Bringing the arms inside the legs. You can always put a couple of blocks under the sitting bones or roll a blanket under your heels for extra stability, okay? Let's take a deep breath in here. Exhale. Just a couple more, softening the face. One more. Good. Then slowly bring your hands behind you. Take a seat. Extend the legs out for a moment and shake them. Good. Very nice. Okay. We are going to try something that may be a little bit intense, so you're going to test it. I'm going to show it sideways and I'll give you a modification. The left knee, I'm going to bend it and I'm going to try and have my left leg like what we call the Virasana or hero leg. So my sitting bones are inside the heel. I'm not sitting on the heel, but this may be super intense if you have things going on in your knee. So if that is the case, You're going to put your leg like if you're taking the tree pose, and you can always use any kind of prop to support the knee if you need, okay? So that's the beginning of the shape. From here, we're going to do a couple of things that we still have time. Good, so from here, first thing, I'm going to bring my hands behind me. Remember, if not the tree pose shape, that works well. Push through your right heel. Let the left thigh become heavy if you're doing the Virasana leg. If you're doing the tree leg, then you just let the knee drop out to the side so it's relaxed. And we send the hands a little further back so we can roll the shoulders back and lift through the chest. Take a few breaths, pushing through the center of your right heel and the base of your toes. If you have the ability to go a little further, your glutes and lumbars will go a little further forward, and then you'll come maybe onto your forearms or a little further. If you're suffering of lower back pain or pinched nerve or something like that, I would not go all the way towards the floor because it's more intense, okay? So I'll stay here just to showcase this version. Shoulders back, lifting through the chest. I don't know if you can see, but me particularly, I don't like to throw my head back because it gives me back pain. So I give space into the back of the neck and I lengthen through the crown of the head. Then I'm going to slowly push back up. Good, second part. I'm going to bend my right knee and I'm going to try and catch my foot. So I'm holding with both hands the sides of my foot, but you can also put a belt there, okay? And from here, we are going to try and extend that front leg. But the trick in this one is that you want to keep your spine tall. If this looks more or feels more like this for you, then I'm going to say that I want you to bend your knee and push your lower back into the front of your body so you stay as tall as you can, okay? Big breath in, big breath out. Press into your sitting bones to stay grounded. Good, then bend that right knee, extend that right leg. Roll yourself over to the right just a little bit so you can take that left leg out and shake them both for a minute or a moment. Good. Second side, slowly, but take another deep breath. Good. Okay, now I'm going to bend my right knee and put my right foot with the toes pointing back. Again, modification, tree pose with the knee out. We try to keep that left leg extended, pushing through the heel. First, I'm going to add a little bit of that back bend by lifting through the front of the spine, shoulders back. Maybe you stay here, maybe you go a little further. I'm going to demo this version for this time, this side. Good, push again through the heel, press that left thigh down and make the right one become heavy towards the ground. Last breath. And then we slowly move back towards the seat. And from here, I'm going to bend that left knee. Good. I'm going to catch the foot or the belt. And you can choose first, find the support in your sitting bones and sit tall. Maybe this is the place to be. You're just with your heel pushing down, the left heel. You're holding the foot or the belt and you're rolling the shoulders back and lifting through the spine. This is a very good place to be. Second place, maybe it's here, a little higher, and you just push with your foot into the hands, lifting the lower back into your body and sending the sternum up. Or maybe a little further if that's okay in your body. 2 breaths. Shoulders back, sternum up, drawing or zipping up from lower belly up to the nose. Then slowly release. Good. Extend that leg, lean over to your left. Take that right leg out, shake it a little. Good. Okay, we are going to come into supine. All the way onto your mat, bending the knees. Let your feet come down for a moment. Take a breath. here to settle. Good, we are going to take one bridge pose from here. So I'm going to widen my feet just a little bit outside my sitting bones. I'm going to walk my shoulders back, down towards my feet, walking also through my fingertips towards the heels. Then I want you to try and tuck your shoulder blades behind the heart, okay? If this is also, it looks like or it feels like it's too intense, then you will take a couple of books or a block and you will put it underneath your sacrum instead, okay? So that will be a supported bridge pose. From here, I'm going to activate my glutes into my body, sacrum in. I'm pressing through the inner and outer feet. And if you want, you can either hold your mat or push through the elbows or press through the hands. And from there, we lift. We again squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. My glutes are supporting my pelvis. My hips are lifting up towards my knees. And then if you want, you can lace the fingers behind the lower back, push your mat down, and lift through the hips a little more. Don't lose the inner edges of your feet, sacrum in. Last breath. Then slowly release through the hands. Bring your torso slowly down, all the way down to your sacrum. Take a breath here. Good, then we keep the feet wide as your mat and let both knees drop to the left. Send your right arm up over the head and then bring the left foot on top of your right knee and let the legs drop a little heavier towards the left. Left arm can go to the side. One more full breath here. Then we take that left foot out again to the side, bring both knees up to the vertical. Good, we are going to let both knees drop to the right, left arm overhead, right foot on top of the left knee if that feels okay. And then stay here for 3 breaths. Then slowly release the right foot. Bring both knees back to center or vertical. Hug both knees into the chest. Rock from side to side. Good. We are at the time of almost rest. Good. And I'm going to say now what we're going to do is to hug those legs in, draw the belly in, and see if you can bring your forehead towards your knees, like creating a cannonball. So stay all rounded there. And then slowly release. Good. For some of us, maybe you're going to choose to come to the regular Savasana shape, supine like I'm showing, lying down, adding any support that you want. If you happen to have a wall close by or a piece of furniture, like a bed or a sofa or something where you can put your legs up, this is always, I always recommend as a very good way to end the practice. I'm just showing quickly. My legs supported by the wall, letting my arms rest to the sides. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades a little bit into one another to feel that expansion in the chest, and then releasing here. So this can be also a good way to end the practice. So come towards the shape that you choose for your Shavasana. And I'll guide you through the beginning of it, and then I'll let you know, of course, when we are done. And if you stay with me until the end, we'll close together, okay? As we come to our last posture that we share in this practice. We surrender our bodies, our minds, our energy, our hearts to rest. And as we rest, an opportunity to integrate the gift of this practice and to understand the impermanent nature of pleasure and pain. To understand that we have the opportunity every time to observe our thoughts and behaviors. And that by listening to our bodies, we can bring more awareness to attachments, so we can come closer to our truth. Receive a deep inhalation through the nose, big exhale through your mouth, letting it all go.
Just a moment.
Slowly wiggle fingers, move your toes. Add any gentle movement, maybe your head, maybe the hands, the wrists, maybe the feet from side to side. As you feel those movements are helping you come back to your body, to the place you are practicing. Keep the face soft, the eyes kind, and then bend the knees. Slowly roll over to one side. If you had your legs up the wall, let the knees come towards the abdomen and roll over to one side. Make your way slowly back up to the seat that will mark the end of our journey together. Let's bring our palms together for a moment and let them rest in gratitude in front of our hearts, noticing the physical body, noticing emotions, thoughts, recognizing this practice as a gift in our lives, to pause, to bring awareness, to release those attachments that we have to old habits, perhaps experiences, making space, empty our cups so we can fully, in freedom, be open to the new opportunities that life brings us in every situation, even when they are challenging. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Let's close with the Om sound, inhaling deeply, big exhale, then breathing in again. Om.